best part of my job is helping people realize not only their dreams, but also their potential. My name is Dan LaForest, and I am a wealth advisor with Security Financial Management. No matter how good you may be at a skill, it's always important to have a coach to help you refine those skills and game plan for the next challenge. Helping clients realize the process will give them the confidence of knowing that we have taken the appropriate steps to protect themselves and their families.
Hi, I'm Angel Carlson, and I'm with the A-Team of Charles Ruttenberg Realty. We're located in delightful downtown DeLand, and we service all of Central Florida. Our team is here to serve you for all of your real estate needs, whether you're buying, selling, or looking to invest. There is no time like the present to sell your existing home and buy your new one with the A-Team. Call me, Angel Carlson, so the A-Team can deliver your dream today.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Varsity Sports Network and the presentation of the Florida Gridiron Report. Each week, we'll be bringing you high school football's top news stories from around the state. Football may be over here in the state of Florida, but we're going to continue it on here in Varsity Sports Network. Joined by Heath Ziegler, host of the Orlando High School Football Scoreboard Show, and also Coach Kyle Hayes from CoachHayesFootball.com. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bobby. Thanks for having us.
I appreciate it, Bobby. Thank you, man, very much for having me.
Awesome. Great to have you guys on board tonight. Look, guys, tonight we're going to kind of kick back a little bit. We're going to rehash and revisit the state championships up there in Tallahassee at Doak Campbell Stadium. So I'm really excited to kind of go back, look at that. I'm sure our fans will be too, to kind of rehash that. We got some great highlights from those games, and we got some good comments from two great people right here on the Florida Gridiron Report. It's going to have a lot of fun. So you guys ready to kick this thing off?
Yeah, let's do it, man. I'm pumped.
Awesome.
Definitely, man.
Tallahassee and Doak Campbell Stadium, home with the Florida State Seminoles for the Class 1A state championship. Hawthorne, Baker looking to keep their undefeated season intact, coming into the championship for their 9th time in school history. Hawthorne making their first appearance in the state finals. Joe Brunson, son of Coach Matt Brunson, leads the Gators against Dre Lawrence and head coach Cornelius Ingram. Opening drive of the game, 3rd and 12 for the Hornets. Quarterback Chaz Mackey hits wide receiver Terrell James on a crossing route, and he could go all the way. Thank you, Chris Berman. 67 yards, Hornets sting first. Hornets go for 2 on the extra point and get the push in for the 2 points. 8-0 Hawthorne early. After a 3 and out for the Hornets defense, the punt goes only 20 yards. The whole Gator punt team is up the field, while number 8 Samuel Driver picks up the ball and heads into the end zone for the touchdown to go up 2 scores on the Gators. But wait. Flag on the play, running into the kicker, 5-yard penalty. Replay 4th down. As you can see on the replay, number 13, Trayvon Clark bumps into Joe Brunson, and with some great theatrics, get the ref to throw the flag for the penalty. It's 4th down and 1 after the penalty. Gators decide to go for it deep inside their own territory. They get the Hornets to jump offside for the penalty and the first down. Gators new life on their opening drive. Give it to running back Zane Steele up the middle for 35 yards. Gators down inside the 15. Give it to Caleb Wagner up the middle. He's heading in, but stripped at the 5 and recovered by Trayvon Clark. Touched back for Hawthorne and stopping the Gators from scoring. Next play after the fumble, handoff in the backfield, dropped and recovered by number 46, Tucker Martin for Baker. 1st and 10 for the Gators inside the 15, back where they were 2 plays ago. It's 4th and 13 from the 17. Quarterback Brody Sharp hits Brunson out of the backfield and picks up the first down inside the 3-yard line. 2nd and goal from the 3. Handed off to Brunson as he barrels his way in for the score. Baker on the board with 6. Extra point makes it 7. 8-7 Hawthorne. To the second quarter, it's 2nd and 19. Mackey hits Anthony Morgan down the near sideline for a 35-yard pass play to put the Hornets back deep inside Gator territory. Ball down to the 21. Mackey back to pass, takes a step up, looks to the end zone, intercepted by number 4, Jesse Jordan. Picks off the pass and rumbles his way up past the 30 for Baker. 52 seconds left till the half. All Hawthorne has to do is stop the Gators deep in their territory to go in with the lead. But Wagner has other ideas. He takes the handoff and scampers 63 yards down to the 1-yard line before run down by safety Cameron Cohens, who saves a touchdown for the time being, as you can see with the elbow touching the 1 just before the end zone. Another great call by the refs this week, who had several calls during these championships. First and goal, 23 seconds left. The Hornets defense stiffens up against Brunson for a 2-yard loss. Second and goal, 18 seconds left. Sharp play action sees his tight end Ethan Edge for the 40-yard touchdown pass right before the half. Extra point no good, but Baker takes the lead 13-8 in the halftime. In the second half, midway through the third quarter, Hornets fumble the ball and it's picked up by Zane Steele and runs it down to the 10 before being pushed out by Mackey. Second and 15, Gators hand it right up the middle to number 34, Seth Baxa, for his 4th touchdown out of the season. Extra point good. Gators up 20-8. Later on in the fourth, they add to the lead with a 7-yard touchdown run by Wagner to go up 27-8 with the extra point. Gators starting to pull away. 17 seconds left in the game. Hornets not giving up. Mackey back to pass, finds Cohens in the back of the end zone for 6 more, giving Hawthorne with the extra point 14 points, but it's not enough, as the Baker Gators and the Gator mascot dances on the Seminole logo at midfield. I'm sure there were some comments made there. But Coach Matt Brunson gets his 6th state title there and at Baker, with the Bakers being the 2020 FHSAA 1A state champions. Chaz Mackey for Hawthorne ends up with 20 of 29, 219 yards and 2 DDs. Unfortunately, 1 interception. Caleb Wagner leads all rushers with 152 yards and a TD for Baker. Let's head back to Doak Campbell Stadium for the 2A state championship. The Lions from Champagnat Catholic in Hialeah taking on the Christians from University Christian in Jacksonville. Tyus Taylor leading the way with head coach Hector Clavillo for the Lions, trying to go back-to-back for the first time in school history. Oral Gray and head coach David Penland anchoring University back for their 5th appearance in the state title game. First play from scrimmage, Taylor throws a swing pass out to wide receiver Brenson Prosper with some great athleticism, breaks a couple of tackles, and takes it down the near sideline for a 51-yard touchdown pass to put the Lions up early, 7-0 with the extra point. Next possession for the Lions, Taylor out to Keyshawn Brown, almost intercepted by number 18, Philip Hartsfield, takes the ball down to the 20 for a 30-yard grab. 3rd and 4 from the 18. Taylor again finds Prosper, who again breaks more tackles and scampers in for the TD, putting the Lions up 14-0 early in this one after the extra point. University trying to get something going from their own 16. DeCerio Riles, quarterback for University, throws a backside screen to Oral Gray as he takes it to midfield for a Christian first down. From the 13, out of the Wildcats, senior Joe Carter takes it off the left side for University's first score of the game. Lions still up 14-7 after University's extra point was good. To the second we go. University driving again. This time the Lion defense comes up with a big turnover on the University 43. Fumble recovery by sophomore William Mejia, giving the Lions 1st and 10 inside University territory. 2 plays later, the Lions give it right back as University's Jerome Manning recovers the mishandled snap and gets University the ball back near midfield. Next Lion possession, Prosper is stripped for another turnover and recovered by University's Jawan Gray deep inside Lion territory. From the 25, Riles to Carter with a nice stiff arm, gets it down to the 10-yard line. Next play, Gray takes it up the middle, bulls his way down to the 1 before the rest of the University offensive line gives him a little nudge into the end zone for another 6. Penalty in the extra point, offsides against the Lions. University decides to go for 2. Gray to the right, splits a couple of would-be tackles and dives in for the 2 points. University up 15-14 with 3:29 till halftime. On the kickoff, University pooches a short kick just behind the front line of the Lions, takes a crazy bounce right into the hands of number 25 freshman Luke Thomas. Christians have the ball in Lion territory with a little over 3 minutes to go till the half. 4th and 1 with a minute to go until the half. University decides to go for it. Instead of kicking the field goal, Wildcat again for University. Carter takes it, but it's stopped. Great defensive effort, and the Lions take over on downs with less than a minute left. To the third we go. University driving midway through the quarter. Big run for Gray. However, he stripped from behind at the end and recovered by number 3 freshman Jordan Jones, who then is stripped by University's number 50 senior Coast Moyle, but recovered again by the Lions. The big man, number 90 junior Xavier Ferguson, coming out of the pile with the fumble recovery. Next play, Lions senior running back Donovan Jones dodges and weaves his way through the University defense on his way to a 45-yard touchdown run. Lions extra point up good, now lead 20-15. Riles back to pass, decides to leave the pocket and knocks his way to what seemed enough for the first down, but coming up short. Fourth down, University has to punt. Or do they? The punter Manning takes off and fakes it just enough for the first down. The drive would stall, however, the Lions from their own 38. Taylor finds Rutherford down to the 25 for a nice pitch and catch to put the Lions deep in University territory. Taylor from the 14 scrambles out of the pocket, looks up, finds Prosper in the end zone for another 6 for the Lions. Lions go for 2. Taylor again has to scramble out of the pocket, throws to the back of the end zone, in 2-point conversion, no good. At their own 34, Carter in the Wildcat again for University. Takes it, hands it off to Riles, who stops and throws a perfect pass in stride to Gray for a 66-yard touchdown pass. University only down 26-21, pending the extra point. Christians decide to go for 2. Gray off the right side, stopped short on a great tackle by Jordan Jones to keep him from going in. University still down by 5 at the end of the third. Lions now deep in Christian territory at the 10. Options to Jones, puts his head down, gets stripped, fumbled at the 5. Recovered by Jones, saving himself. University missing out on a great chance early in the fourth. Second and goal now. Rutherford with a chance off the left side. This time, barrels his way in. Fumbles at the goal line, but recovers it himself for 6 points. Lions now up 32-21, pending the extra point. Lions go for 2 again. This time, Taylor finds sophomore Kelvin Blount for the 2-point conversion. Lions now up 34-21, 9:33 left in this one. University driving again. Riles gets rushed out of the pocket, stops and throws down to senior Jamari Fudge, who makes a great catch down to the 10-yard line. Next play, they give it to Gray around the right tackle, and he gets in for the 10-yard TD run. University still within 1 score midway through the fourth. Extra point is blocked, but University is still down within 7 of the Lions. The play of the game, 3:38 left. Prosper takes the toss, heading left, stops, turns back around to the right, and down the sideline he goes, stepping out at the 9. Taylor takes it, throws another perfect pass, and even a better catch by Rutherford for another 6 points, extending the lead for the Lions late in the fourth. Some cheers for Coach Clavijo's brother, who was with him last season for their state championship. Passing away last summer is remembered this season as the Lions go back-to-back. First time in school history for state championships, beating the Christians 41-27 in another great game in these 2020 championships. Gatorade baths around for everybody as Coach Clavijo holding up the state 2A state championship trophy along with the sign with his brother, commemorating him and remembering him from last year as the Champagnat Catholic Lions take the 2A state championship here back-to-back. Tyrese Taylor goes 18 for 23 for 246 yards and 4 TDs. Darius Arias Riles, 11 for 17, 178 yards and a touchdown for University.
Well, there it is, gentlemen. There's 1A and 2A of the 2020 FHSAA High School Football State Championships. 2 great games, both of them starting off there. Heath, I'm going to start with you. Tell me a little bit about what you saw in that 1A game that really surprised you.
Well, Coach Brunson is one of one of the, fastest emerging coaches in the state of Florida. This year, he actually achieved his 100th win. He's only been coaching as a head coach for 10 years. You guys can do the simple math on that. That means he's averaging 10-plus wins a season, which that's kind of the magic number, that anytime you get to double-digit wins in a year, I think that just proves that you're obviously a program proven builder, and it's a good thing for Coach Brunson. Another thing I like about Coach Brunson and his team is that the evolution of football in the high school world we've seen because of 7-on-7 and these passing leagues. A lot of teams go empty sets 5 wide, and I like the fact that he's this is maybe that North Florida mentality up there where he's not afraid to run that single wing, and that will give coaches fits. And I know that my dad being a head coach growing up, anytime he had to play a team that had single wing like Apopka High School, it was hell that week. It was really hard for him. Coach Hayes, you're a former head coach yourself. I know that you eventually had to go up against some single wing teams. Can you tell me a little bit, get inside of the mind of a head coach? What's that week like, and is it tougher than a normal team?
Yeah, man. I mean, it really is. I mean, I know, especially being in South Florida, we don't see it that much. But what I know we always did was we knew as we got into the playoffs and we had to start playing a lot of these teams from Central and up north in the state of Florida, we definitely would see that. So we didn't want our players to see that for the first time in a game. So we would actually implement single wing segments in our practices, throughout the week, just so we could prepare for it, because it is such a difficult thing to defend, especially, man. So, I mean, those things are tough. It's a lot of misdirection, a lot of changing of hands so far as quarterbacks, the single wing guy coming in motion. So it's very difficult to defend, and it can really give you some problems and some headaches, especially if your kids are seeing it for the first time in a big game like the playoffs in the state championship.
Yeah, if I may add to Matt Brunson, Coach Brunson's son, Joe Brunson, another cool thing where anytime you get to see a son play for his father, that's obviously something near and dear to my heart. But that young man's a baller. I mean, he really had a great game in that state championship game. Obviously, my hat's off to the Gators. And I did think it was a little bittersweet, kind of a little ironic that the Gators were jumping on the Seminole head there in Doak Campbell. And I know you caught on to it, Bobby, when you were doing the overlay. But I just thought that was a really cool little wrinkle to the game. We talk about a little bit of everything here. It's not just X's and O's, man. We get the mascots involved.
Oh, absolutely. I know comments were made, I guarantee it, up there in Tallahassee when that happened. So, I'm sure he was shooed off very quickly, because it looked like he turned around and left fast after it was said and done.
He had to get out of there, man. There might have been a horseback Indian looking for him.
Absolutely. But, hats off to Hawthorne, too. Hawthorne, for the first time ever in the state championship this year for 2020. They're right down the road from Tallahassee. Their nemesis every year has been Madison County. They were able to beat Madison County, who's been to the state championship just about every year for the last 10, 15 years up there for 1A. And hats off to the Hornets. They did a great job this year of getting to the finals. They held strong with Baker until the fourth quarter. And I think that experience with Baker being there so many times was the difference in this game, to where Hawthorne just did not have enough in the gas in the tank at the end of the game to where they could pull that off and do that. So congratulations to both teams. Congratulations to Baker, Coach Brunson, for their championship this year. 1A, man. You'll see them again. They've got a lot of young kids on that football team. And same thing with Hawthorne. They'll be back as well. So it's going to be an exciting year coming up in 2021 for 1A. Let's head over to 2A real quick. Back-to-back state championships from Champagnat. Coach Hayes, I'm going to start with you. Coming from that South Florida area down there, that's a pretty rich tradition down there, isn't it?
It really is, man. I mean, and Champagnat, like I said, I believe they've just got a football team maybe within the past 10 to 12 years, if I'm not mistaken. But they've done a lot in a little bit of time. I know Coach Dennis Mariquan's a good friend of mine, kind of got that program kicked off with some state championships and decided to step down and do some other things. But they have really have shown that, just talent all over the city and in South Florida. And so they've done extremely, extremely well and very successful here in the past decade or so.
Keith, I'm going to throw this one at you right here now. You talked about this off camera with me. That young man from Champagnat down there, Mr. Prosper, he is a prospect, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's listed 5'10", 168. I've actually seen him listed as high as 175, 180. But, I mean, Coach Satterfield up at Louisville, very rarely do you see the head coach go make a hand-delivered offer to a young man, and Vincent Prosper is very deserving of of that offer from Louisville. He's only a junior. He's going to be coming back next year. He might be one of the most explosive players in South Florida. I don't think that's even a question. I think that he's going to get a lot of looks. I don't think Coach Satterfield is going to be the only coach that's going to have him wanting to sign come next year. But I think it was a good move by Louisville to go ahead and be the first. Sometimes kids do appreciate the first team, so I think it was a good move on their part. But Benson Prosper, look for him to be in the top 100 ESPN top 100 rankings next year.
That's good because he's a good player, no doubt about it. For University Christian, unfortunately coming on the short end of the stick over there. Congratulations to them on a good season as well. They've been to that championship before as well, and they're going to be back. They got a good team coming back here in 2022, or 2021, I should say. So that ought to be fun coming up in the fall for 2A. Gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk 3A and 4A football for the state championships this year in 2020 from Doak Campbell Stadium up there. You're watching the Florida Gridiron Report here on the Varsity Sports Network.
The best part of my job is helping people realize not only their dreams, but also their potential. My name is Dan LaForest, and I am a wealth advisor with Security Financial Management. No matter how good you may be at a skill, it's always important to have a coach to help you refine those skills and game plan for the next challenge. Helping clients realize the process will give them the confidence of knowing that we have taken the appropriate steps to protect themselves and their families.
Hi, I'm Angel Crowson, and I'm with the A-Team of Charles Ruttenberg Realty. We're located in delightful downtown DeLand, and we service all of Central Florida. Our team is here to serve you for all of your real estate needs, whether you're buying, selling, or looking to invest. There is no time like the present to sell your existing home and buy your new one with the A-Team. Call me, Angel Crowson, so the A-Team can deliver your dream today.
Why did the golfer wear 2 pairs of pants? In case he got a hole in one.
Now that's what I call a rib tickler. And here's something else you'll get a kick out of. Come into Gators Dockside during Rib Fest and enjoy delicious fall-off-the-bone ribs, char-grilled to order in one of 5 amazing flavors. For wings, seafood, sports, and ribs, you know where to go. It's Rib Fest at Gators Dockside. Meet me at the dock.
Welcome back, everybody, here to the Florida Gridiron Report here on the Varsity Sports Network. I'm your host, Bobby Lattimore, joined by Heath Ziegler and Coach Kyle Hayes. And gentlemen, let's talk a little 3A and 4A football. Let's check out the highlights from those games.
Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee, home of the Florida State Seminoles and this year's host for the 2020 FHSAA High School Football State Championships. It's time for 3A to shine as Chaminade Madonna takes on Trinity Christian in this rematch from the 2016 State Championships, where Trinity Christian beat Chaminade 24-17. These two teams have dominated the 3A classification since 2013, Trinity rattling off 4 straight championships from 2013 to 2016, Chaminade with the next 3 from 2017 through 2019. Governor Ron DeSantis on hand for this game. He handles the coin toss duties at midfield with the captains. Always good to see him take time out to support these athletes, especially during these times. Opening drive for Chaminade, 4th and 1. They decide to go for it early. Give it to number 1, Thaddeus Franklin, senior commit to Miami. Gets stopped short by number 58, Austin Barber, senior defensive tackle. Turnover on downs for Trinity. Ensuing drive, 4th and 11 for Trinity. This time, the snap goes over the punter's head. All senior kicker Caleb Stevenson could do is kick it out of the back of the end zone for Chaminade's safety. The Lions go up early, 2-0. After the kick back to the Lions, Franklin gets it going with a 2-yard TD run to give Chaminade a 9-0 lead after the extra point was good. Kickoff back to Trinity. Number 11, Xander Ross, junior wide receiver, takes it at the 3 and scampers up to the 42 to give Trinity good field position and try to get their high-powered offense back on track. Second quarter now, senior quarterback Ja'Cory Jordan takes a snap and runs up the middle for a short gain. However, number 25, Dylan Reed for Chaminade, comes out of the pile with the ball and scoots down the sideline for a TD. A very crucial call late in the second half before halftime. As you can see, it appears Jordan is down, but the refs see it another way and allow the Lions to keep the 6 on the board. Trinity with the ball again, 1:32 before the half. Jordan, the wide receiver, Marcus Burke, he fights his way up to the 48 for an 18-yard gain. Jordan, this time back to pass, gets flushed from the pocket and takes off down the near side and out at the 30, 22 yards that time, 46 seconds left before the half. 18 seconds left until halftime. Jordan steps back, looks to the end zone, and gets picked off by Chaminade's Charlie Williams at the goal line with a spectacular catch and brings it back out to the 26 for the Lions. And that's how the half ends. Lions up 16-0. Second half, Trinity trying to get back on track with their offense. Jordan calls his own number up the middle for a big gain down to the Lions 36. 4th and goal now inside the 5. Wildcat to Caleb Killian fakes up the middle and then bounces it out to the right and in the end zone for Trinity's first score of the night. With the extra point, it's 16-7 in the third. Trinity with the ball again. Jackson back to pass, throws it up into double coverage, but Burke out-jumps the defenders and gets the catch down to the Lions' 40-yard line. Handoff to junior wide receiver Xander Ross. He heads right, stops, cuts back up the middle, stops, jukes inside, and out for a gain down to the 25. Next play, handoff to number 2 Christian Ellis. He breaks a couple of tackles, pulling his way down to the 11. Hand off to Killian, diving his way down to the 1. Trinity starting to move the ball against this Lion defense late in the third, setting up goal to goal. Did I say move the ball? A big hit for a loss by number 17, Jordan Lynch. It says not this time as Killian loses 2 yards and sets up 2nd and goal from the 3. 4th quarter now, switching sides, still 2nd and goal. Killian has a hole but slips on the turf and down at the 2, setting up 3rd and goal for Trinity. Can the Lions defense hold? Jordan takes a snap, drives his way up the middle, but stopping short again at the 1 this time, 4th and goal for Trinity. Trinity deciding to kick the field goal. Still early in the 4th, Stevenson, also the kicker for Trinity, splits the uprights for 3. Trinity down by 6 with a lot of football left to play. Trinity gets the ball back with 7 minutes to go. Jordan doesn't waste any time, throws deep to an open Marcus Burke, who gets behind the defense for a 55-yard TD pass. All tied at 16. Extra point makes it 17-16 midway through the 4th. Chaminade comes right back down the field to the Trinity 4. Franklin takes a direct snap, dives his way to what appears to be a touchdown, but the refs call him down at the 1-inch line. From the replay, you can see he extends the ball over the goal line before he's down. Should have been a touchdown, but it's 2nd and goal from the 1. If at first you don't succeed, try again, and Chaminade does just that with a 1-yard plunge by Franklin to the Lions up 22-17 late in the 4th. Chaminade goes for 2. Senior Jalen Tolbert comes in for the 2-point conversion, rolls right, throws into triple coverage and incomplete. Score stays 22-17, under 3 minutes to go in the game. 2:55 left, Trinity with the ball at their own 30. Handoff up the middle to Franklin. He barrels his way up to midfield for a Trinity 20-yard gain and a first down. 2:37 left. Jordan throws out the flat to Burke, takes into Lion territory down to the 40, another Trinity first down. 2:18 to go. Handoff to Franklin. Gets to the 30, short of the first down, clock running. 1:31 left. Jordan passes to Burke. A lot of contact at the 10. Flag comes out. Pass interference on Chaminade will be a first down after the 15-yard penalty to the Lions' 20-yard line. However, refs get together and decide to waive the penalty. As you can see from the replay, clearly tipped at the line of scrimmage, therefore waiving off any contact penalty down the field because of the tipped pass. Crucial call this late in the game. Great jobs by the refs to get it right. 3rd and 7 now. Less than a minute to go. Jordan back to pass. Throws a short out route and almost picked off by junior Brian Dilworth. Could have ended the game and given the Lions the victory. But another life for Trinity. 4th down and 7. 52 seconds left. Jordan back to pass. Throws it down the sideline. Hits Marcus Burke diving in the end zone for the touchdown with 48 seconds left. Trinity up by 1. You can see from the replay the defender slips at the 3 and opens up the lane for Burke to catch the ball, diving into the end zone for the score. Great catch to give Trinity a lead late in this game. Trinity going for 2. Jordan pitches it to Franklin, who hands it off to Burke, who throws it back to Jordan for the 2-point conversion. Trinity up 25-22 with less than a minute to go. Chaminade, one last gasp. 1st and 10 from their own 20. Tolbert back to pass. Almost picked off by Trinity, which could have ended the game for them, but tipped into the hands of sophomore wide receiver Edwin Joseph for a first down and gets out of bounds to stop the clock. 38 seconds left from their 35. Tolbert back to pass. Hits Jenkins in the flat for a short gain, stopping the clock. Out of bounds with 33 seconds left. Tolbert back to pass. Gets rushed and wrapped up. Throws it into the sideline. Incomplete. Flag down. Intentional grounding. Loss of down. And ball placed back at the spot. 4th down. Last chance for Chaminade. Tolbert back to pass, but gets pummeled by number 33 junior linebacker Caden Morale for the sack, and the Trinity Christian Conquerors conquer the 3A championship here in Tallahassee. As the celebrations begin, that 3A trophy hoisted high by Trinity Christian here in 2020. Ja'Cory Jordan for TC goes 9 for 18, 161 yards and 2 TDs, 1 interception. For Jalen Tolbert for Chaminade Madonna, 11 to 19, 86 yards. Back to Campbell Stadium for the 4A state championships. The Bulldogs from Bowles out of Jacksonville taking on Cardinal Gibbons. The Chiefs from Fort Lauderdale. NC State commit Cade Fordham leads the Bulldogs along with head coach Matt Tobin in his second season at Bowles. Clemson commit Troy Stellato leads the Chiefs along with head coach Matt Duback in his 5th season with the Chiefs. Let's get it started. First play of the game for Bowles. Nice out route to Jake Mulvey from Gunnar Borey. 10-yard gain for a first down. Good start for the Bulldogs. Second play, let's try the run game and see how it works. Boom! There goes Cade Frew running away from everyone on the defense. 60 yards for the score, and just like that, Bowles is up 6-0. With the extra point, it's 7-0 Bulldogs, and we haven't even had our first sip of our hot cocoa yet. All right, Cardinal Gibbons gets their turn. It's 4th and 5 from the Bowles 45. Chiefs decide to go for it. Number 12, Brody Pelegi, drops back to pass, but runs out of time as junior defensive tackle number 47, Hayden Schwartz, comes around the blind side for the first of 2 sacks for the Bulldogs in this game. After the turnover on downs, the Bulldogs 1st and 15 from their 47. Hand off to Frew. If it works once, it may work again, and it does. Frew dancing his way through the Chiefs' 33 for another Bulldogs first down. It's 4th and 5 now for Bowles from the 29. Out route to number 6 junior wide receiver Keaton Thomas. Catches it short of the sticks. A great tackle by Chiefs cornerback number 5 Zachary Ferris to keep Thomas from getting any more and get the turnover on downs for the Chiefs defense. First play of the second quarter, Chiefs at the Bowles 4-yard line. Pelegi throws a quick out to sophomore wide receiver number 16 Jesse Anderson as he dives across the goal line for Gibbons' first score of the game. Extra point good, and we're all tied at 7 at the beginning of the second quarter. Chiefs with the ball again in Bowles territory. Pelegi back to pass. Pump fakes once, gets the Bowles defense to bite short and hits sophomore wide receiver number 14 Arthur Jenkins deep for a nice gain down to the 7-yard line. First and goal, quick pass to Soletto, and he's in for 6. Chiefs go up 13-0 pending the extra point. 14-7 now. Chiefs with the ball again on their own 30. 140 left till halftime. Pelegi hits Stellato for a 14-yard gain to the 44. Out of bounds, stops the clock. Next play, Pelegi hits Stellato again on a quick slant, and he goes down the middle for a 56-yard TD pass to give the Chiefs a 20-7 lead right before the half. However, penalty on the play. It's against Bowles. Nope, it's against Gibbons. Ref trying to figure it out. So it's 1st and 15, back to the 39 after 5-yard penalty. Pelegi back to pass, gets flushed from the pocket, takes off, bobs and weaves through the Bowles defense for a big gain and out of bounds to stop the clock. While he's over on the sideline, he gives the Bowles fans a few words of encouragement and heads back on the field. Next play, if you talk the talk, you need to back it up. Pelegi takes off again. This time, gets stripped and fumbles. Number 14, DJ Johnson for Bowles recovers, drives stop with no points for the Chiefs before the half. Bowles fans giving Pelegi some more words of encouragement back to him after that fumble. 14-7 Chiefs at the break. Third quarter, big 3rd and 15 for the Chiefs. Screen pass to number 19 sophomore running back Kamari Moulton. He heads down the near side and outruns the Bowles defense on his way to a 32-yard touchdown pass to give the Chiefs a 21-7 lead with the extra point. To the fourth quarter, Chiefs again inside Bulldogs territory. Pelegi passes to number 2 junior wide receiver Elisha Edwards for a big gain down to the Bulls' 14-yard line. Next play, Pelegi, with all the time in the world in the pocket, finally finds the big man, number 17, senior tight end Bryson Williams, as he pulls his way to the 3. Next play, give it to Moulton for a 3-yard plunge, and the Chiefs extend their lead late in the fourth to 28-7. Time running out for the Bulldogs, 3rd and 14 from their 41. Borey back to pass, goes over the middle, and great catch for the interception by number 55 junior linebacker Trayvon Brown at midfield to stop the Bulldogs' drive. Chiefs did not sit on the clock. Pelegi back to pass, hits number 18 sophomore Adonis Allen for a big gain to the Bulls' 9-yard line, setting up 1st and goal for the Chiefs. Pelegi again finds Stellato in for the TD pass. Chiefs up now 35-7, a little over 2 minutes to go in this one. Stellato with his 2nd receiving touchdown of the game. On the kickoff, short kick taken at the 25 by number 4 Davis Ellis, takes it to the center of the field, gets some great block, and breaks free, outrunning the kicker for a 75-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. Bulls down 35-14 after the extra point. The Bulldogs not going down quietly, stop the Chiefs on a 3 and out. On the punt, gets blocked and recovered by the Bulldogs at the Chiefs' 35. First play after the block punt, Borey goes back to pass, finds Ellis again as he gets down to the 1 with less than a minute to go. Borey hands off to Frew up the middle and gets it in for the 6, 35-21 with the extra point, still some time left on the clock. After an unsportsmanlike penalty against the Bulldogs after the touchdown, Bulls kicks off back at their own 20. Onside kick coming, which everybody knew about, but the Cardinal Gibbons kick return team was not privy to that information, obviously, because Bull gets an easy onside kick recovery to stay alive. 10 seconds left. Borey back to pass, gets flushed out of the pocket, takes off, tries to get out of bounds, but is stopped shy of the sideline as time runs out for the comeback as Cardinal Gibbons wins their 2nd 4A state championship in 3 years, defeating the Bulls Bulldogs 35-21. Big day for Pelegi, 29 of 33 for 358 yards, 4 touchdowns, and rush for 66 yards. Also another big day for Stellato, 6 of 69 with 2 touchdowns. Cade Frew for Bulls, rushed for 121 yards and 2 TDs.
Gentlemen, a lot of big names in both of these games. In the 3A game was a huge win there for Trinity Christian, beating Chaminade Madonna on the comeback, which I thought was incredible because Chaminade controlled that game for 3 quarters, and in the 4th, Trinity finally got their legs underneath them and put together a couple drives that were really beneficial for them towards the end of that game. They just outlasted Chaminade on that one. Heath, tell me a little bit about what you thought about that 3A game.
Hey, so this is exactly why we do this, man. Anytime you can have a state championship won in the last 48 seconds, that's amazing. I mean, this was really, I mean, of all of the 8 games, this was the one that was really came down to the wire. We have some other ones we'll get to that were also close, but this one was an emotional game. I mean, we had 3 scores in the last 3 minutes. I mean, there was a lot of turnover there at the top of the leaderboard. But I do want to talk a little bit. I know Torian Gray, he's a running back coach at the University of Florida. And young man Caleb Killian for Trinity Christian, one of the top running backs in the state of Florida. He had a lot of kind of middle of the road offers from the Group of 5, nothing from the Power 5. And Torian Gray took a chance on Caleb Killian. Now that offer did not result in a signing, but I thought it spoke a lot about Torian Gray and obviously making that offer to Caleb Killian. So just a little side note there. I think Caleb Killian is an excellent back, and I think it says a lot about him when the Gators come calling. So I think that was a cool thing with this game. Also, my hats off to both coaching staffs there for not keeping their kids focused in the game. Because let's look. I mean, when you're down 48 seconds, or actually you're up with 3 minutes to go, there's a lot of emotion on the field. And these are young men. Remember, these aren't proven guys that play on Saturdays and Sundays. These are kids that have things to worry about back in the classroom. So I thought it said a lot about the maturity on both sides to stay in the game all the way to the end, never give up, and obviously. Trinity Christian, was able to pull it off.
Coach Hayes, what do you got?
I mean, the same thing, but it goes to show, the game is never over until the clock hits zero. It goes to show, and hat off to the head coach at Trinity Christian, the fact that he kept his guys focused, kept them in it, and he kept them fighting. That's the biggest thing. When you're down, a lot of times, especially, like he said, these are not proven guys. They're very young kids. They're 14, 15, 16 years old, 17. And sometimes they want to pack it in when everything is not going right. So hats off to him for keeping his young men in it, keeping them going, and as well as with Shaman Madonna having a running back in Thad Franklin that is signee to the University of Miami, of course. Go Cane. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm a Cane fan, baby. You know what I mean? So I got to give it to him. But to give it to have that, man, I mean, it's just hats off again, man.
No question about it. A great job by both teams right there. Shaman Madonna winning the state championship last year. Couldn't come with a back-to-back one this year. Trinity Christian coming out of the Jacksonville area and able to dominate that game in the fourth quarter. It was all Shaman Madonna, as you saw in that first half. At the half, it was 16-0, and a great comeback there by Trinity Christian in the second half to win that 3A state championship. Let's go up to 4A. It started out as a barn burner. I mean, Bulls just started rushing away with everything at the beginning of the game, but then all of a sudden, Cardinal Gibbons just absolutely got off the bus, found their way to the field, and started playing football again, and they just really took it to Bulls in this one. The score was not even close to indicative of what that game was really like. But Bulls scoring in the last 2 minutes, great kickoff return for the touchdown, and then another on the block punt. The next play was a nice touchdown pass, but before that, it was all Chiefs all day.
Yeah, I mean, you just said it, Bobby, exactly. And then Cardinal Gibbons, how I look at it, they're loaded with talent. But Troy Stellato, man, I mean, he's a Clemson signee at this point. And, I mean, you got to find out where that guy is, right? You can't let the number one guy on the team beat you. And I think he put up 2 touchdowns in the back of the end zone. And luckily that call was called back for a legal shift. But, I mean, that guy is outstanding, and he's going to do big things at the next level.
Yeah, good stuff, Coach Hayes. Obviously, with one of the radio shows that I do, we're on an ESPN Jacksonville, and I got to know Cade Frew quite a bit. Obviously, the Jacksonville Bulls team, they were always in the conversation. We actually had Cade on our show. Great young man. And here's kind of what Cardinal Gibbons did. If you watch that game closely, you've heard of the QB spy, right? Well, they put a Cade Frew spy out there. Anytime he left the backfield, he had a guy. He had an over top coverage too. He had a safety with him as well, down deep. Because look, I'm not going to call Bulls one dimensional, but I mean it's the Cade Frew show there. And you take the best player out, just like Coach Hayes was talking about. You got to know where Stiletto is, right? So if you take Cade Frew out of the game, Jacksonville Bulls has to rely on some of the other guys that weren't their top producers this season. And just knowing Jacksonville Bulls closely from covering Jacksonville ESPN radio, I think. The coaches did what they needed to do to take away Bowles' the armor in their gun, and they got rid of Cade Frew. And I think that while he's an excellent player and a great young man, he had to be very frustrated that night to see how many guys that he had swamped on top of him.
No question about it. A great win right there by Matt Dubach over there for Cardinal Gibbons down there in South Florida. Just a real quick thing, guys, we've got we watched 4 championships. Only 1 state championship coming out of South Florida right there. That's kind of unheard of right now this year. So we'll talk a little bit about that, but we got another one coming up here soon. 5A, 6A coming up right after this. You're watching the Florida Gridiron Report here on the Varsity Sports Network. We'll be back right after this.
The best part of my job is helping people realize not only their dreams, but also their potential. My name is Dan LaForest, and I am a wealth advisor with Security Financial Management. No matter how good you may be at a skill, it's always important to have a coach to help you refine those skills and game plan for the next challenge. Helping clients realize the process will give them the confidence of knowing that we have taken the appropriate steps to protect themselves and their families.
Hi, I'm Angel Crowson, and I'm with the A-Team of Charles Ruttenberg Realty. We're located in delightful downtown DeLand, and we service all of Central Florida. Our team is here to serve you for all of your real estate needs, whether you're buying, selling, or looking to invest. There is no time like the present to sell your existing home and buy your new one with the A-Team. Call me, Angel Clausen, so the A-Team can deliver your dream today.
Why did the golfer wear 2 pairs of pants? In case he got a hole in one.
Now that's what I call a rib tickler. And here's something else you'll get a kick out of. Come into Gators Dockside during Rib Fest and enjoy delicious fall-off-the-bone ribs, char-grilled to order in one of 5 amazing flavors. For wings, seafood, sports, and ribs, you know where to go. It's Rib Fest at Gators Dockside. Meet me at the dock.
Welcome back, everybody, here to the Florida Gridiron Report here on the Varsity Sports Network. We're in COVID mode on the Zoom calls right now, joined by Heath Ziegler and Coach Kyle Hayes from HayesFootball.com here on the Varsity Sports Network. Heath, he's obviously the host for the ESPN High School Football Scoreboard Show here in Orlando and also in Jacksonville, as you heard earlier. So, guys, let's head over. Let's check out 5A and 6A of what happened in the 2020 FHSAA State Championships up in Doak Campbell Stadium up in Tallahassee.
Doak Campbell Stadium, home of the Florida State Seminoles, and also the hometown of the Rickards Raiders, making their first state championship appearance in school history. American Heritage, the Patriots back for their 6th appearance to the title game, 3 of them coming under head coach Patrick Surtain, former NFL player, now coaching his 5th season for the Patriots. Quentin Lewis, a graduate of Rickards High School, now in his 9th season at the helm for the Raiders. Middle of the first quarter, Patriots 1st and goal at the 2. Number 7 quarterback Blake Murphy hands off to number 4 running back Mark Fletcher as he gets in for the score. Patriots up 7-0 with the extra point. To the end of the first, Patriots at midfield. Murphy back to pass, steps up in the pocket, throws to a wide open Nick Witten for the 50-yard touchdown pass and put the Patriots up 14-0 into the first quarter. To the second quarter, Rickards punting from their 23. Vincent Davis III takes it as the Patriots at the 35, weaves his way through the defense and could go all the way, but gets knocked down at the 1. So close. Second and goal for the Patriots. Murphy to Aronde Gasson the second. 6'4" wide receiver, making it look too easy against a smaller defender for the Raiders, and he lets him know it after the catch. 21-0 Patriots over the Raiders midway through the second. 7 seconds left before halftime. Rickards at the Patriots' 9-yard line. Quarterback Mike Townsend drops back to hit wide receiver Caleb Akoff. Incomplete, but flag comes in. Pass interference in the end zone. Ball placed at the 2. One more play before half. After the play, Boogie Silvera hands a hand warmer to his teammate James Williams, but Akoff comes in for the interception. Williams, however, gets it back after Akoff figures it out. It's about the only thing that the Raiders can say they did in the first half. Raiders decide to get some points before halftime, but kick goes wide right, and all too well haunting of past field goal attempts in this stadium. 21-0 Patriots at the half. Second half kickoff, Rickards needs to get something going, and they do with the return from number 4, Greg Turner. Turner follows some good blocking for a 73-yard kickoff return to the Patriots' 26. Raiders now down to the Patriots 17. Quick handoff to number 6, DeAndre Francis Jr. He gets to the Patriot 5. Face mask penalty gets them some more. Penalty gets them to the 2. Townsend takes the snap, barrels his way for the score. Rickards on the scoreboard, 21-6. Raiders go for 2, but get stopped. Score stays 21-6 at the beginning of the third. Let's head late into the third. Patriots back down inside the Raiders 10. Murphy drops back, fires into triple coverage. It gets tipped up and intercepted by number 11, Alvin Bell Jr. for a touchback to stop the Patriots scoring drive. To the fourth, Patriots backed up deep at their 9. A bunch formation confuses the Raider defense because Murphy rolls to the right and throws to a wide open Watkins, who gets behind the defenders for a big gain up to the 47-yard line. Next play, Murphy pulls it from the running back's gut, keeps it and sprints to the left and down inside the Raiders' 30 to the 28. In 2 plays, the Patriots went from their 9 to the Raiders' 28. However, the Raiders defense holds. Field goal attempt, number 36, Chris Maron, on a 29-yard attempt, splits the uprights. Patriots now up 24-6 late in the fourth. And the Gatorade showers begin as the American Heritage Patriots win their 5th state championship in school history, first since 2017. The Patriots are the 2020 5A Florida State champions. Blake Murphy goes 8 for 16 for 132 yards and 2 touchdowns with 1 interception. Mark Fletcher rushes 21 times for 127 yards for 1 touchdown for the Patriots. Michael Townsend for Rickards goes 3 for 10 for 41 yards, also rushed for 25 yards and a touchdown. The Lake Minneola Silverhawks, Cinderella of the 2020 Florida high school football season, in the 6A state finals against defending 6A champs from 2019, the Miami Central Rockets, at Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee. Head coach Walter Banks, in his 6th season at Lake Minneola, his first state title appearance, looks to running back Zedarius Walker to lead the way for the Silverhawks with over 1,600 yards rushing for the season. Outside linebacker Terrence Lewis, the #1 ranked recruit in the nation, leads the Rockets with head coach Roland Smith in his 8th season, 7 championship appearances to this game in those 8 seasons. First quarter, Rockets at Mineola's 15-yard line. Number 2, quarterback Kewan Jenkins takes a snap, hits number 9 wide receiver Zaylen Reese over the middle. Rockets get this party started for Miami Central, up 6-0. Extra point, no good. Rockets lead remains 6-0. On the ensuing kickoff, Lake Minneola's Tyler Fordham picks up the squib kick and runs it back to the 45-yard line to help the Silverhawks offense. But not much happened after that for Lake Minneola. Rockets with the ball again at midfield. Jenkins back to pass again. Finds number 81, Trent Henry, over the middle for the first down. Next play, Jenkins steps back again, looks deep, and finds number 10, Robert McMinn, in the back of the corner of the end zone for 6 more. That pass went for 35 yards and puts the Rockets up 12-0 after a failed 2-point conversion still in the first quarter. Rockets with the ball again, still in the first. This time they hand it off to Ghana Oho. He finds a hole and shoots through it for a big gain, carrying Silverhawk defenders with him down to the 10-yard line. After an offensive penalty back to the 15, Jenkins hands it off, this time to Amari Daniels, as he goes untouched for the 15-yard touchdown run and give the Rockets an 18-0 lead. Again, Central missing the extra point. Second quarter action now, Rockets down to the Lake Minneola 7-yard line. Jenkins steps back, finds a wide-open Yulkeith Brown in the end zone for another 6 points that extends the lead to 24 in the first half after another missed extra point. 5 minutes left till halftime. Rockets with the ball again at their own 40. Jenkins hands off to Daniels, and he gets to the edge and sprints down the sideline to the Silverhawks 17-yard line. A few plays later, from the 3, Oho again barrels his way in for the score, and Central is running away with this one in the first half. This time the 2-point conversion works, and the score is 32-0 with under 4 minutes left in the first half. Lake Minneola finally gets something going with Robbie Sanders finding a hole and scampering into Rocket territory for a first down. Unfortunately, that was it for the first half highlights for the Silverhawks. Rockets with the ball again, 37 seconds left until the end of the half. Jenkins throws a screen in the middle to Henry, who outruns his blocking. If he stays patient, he would have had a touchdown, but decides to leave the safety of the wall and gets brought down at the 42. Last play before the half, Jenkins looks deep, gets flushed out of the pocket, but is sacked by Lawrence Seymour, giving Lake Minneola something to cheer about going into halftime with the Rockets leading 32-0. Second half kickoff, the wheels fall off the Lake Minneola bus. A short kick to the taken at the 30 by Brown as he works his way back to the other side of the field, finds an opening and sprints 70 yards for the touchdown. But wait, a silver lining for the Silverhawks, penalty on the play, holding against Central, but that silver lining turned black because on the first play after the penalty, Jenkins hits McMinn on a post route down to the Lake Minneola 15. A few plays later, Amari Daniels makes it look too easy as he scores his second of the day. Rockets now up 38-0 pending the extra point. Rockets go for 2 again. Same play, Daniels runs it in with no defense, and the Central lead extends to 40 midway through the third. Running clock gives the Rockets the ball again. Sophomore Dylan Tulloch in at quarterback, steps back and lets it go, finding sophomore classmate Lamar Seymour in the back of the end zone to close it out. As Coach Smith prepares for his Gatorade shower, the team corrals him, and they all enjoy the Gatorade bath together as Miami Central become back-to-back state champions in 2020, winning the 6A state championship in Tallahassee. The Rockets' Jenkins goes 8 for 14, 160 yards and 3 touchdowns. Daniels runs for 172 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. Lake Minneola's Robbie Sanders passes 7 for 17 for 63 yards.
And there you go, gentlemen. There's a look at the 5A and 6A here for the 2020 FHSAA state championships. Clearly, both games with experienced teams against non-experienced teams, and it definitely showed, Coach Hayes. Rickards, first time they've been in the state championship, even though they were at home there in Tallahassee, didn't have to travel far. They didn't make any noise against American Heritage, who's been there for a very long time. Coach Retain had that team primed up, ready to go up in Tallahassee, and they showed it coming up there.
Yeah, Bobby, they surely did. I mean, they're loaded with talent. You know, it's another South Florida team out of Plantation, and defensively they stopped them, and they do have the number one safety in the country on that team, in James Williams, who is also a University of Miami signee. So I just wanted to say that as well. But yeah, they do, man. They are loaded with talent, and it showed. So with Rickards, hats off to them for having their first appearance. But again, I think American Heritage just had too much in the tank for them.
I think you're right. I know I've got some stuff for you about these South Florida teams that you talked so highly of. We'll get to that in the 6A game, but I want to talk a little bit about Rickards. We just saw Tampa Bay. They just won the Super Bowl in their home stadium over in Tampa, and this was gonna, maybe be the. I was kind of hoping earlier in the year, it's like Rickards is getting to play a state championship basically at home, and that stadium was absolutely packed. That was the one game that actually made that stadium look like an actual Florida State game, because that's about the same amount of people Florida State was getting in that stadium this year. But a couple things I do like. You talked about Patrick Surtain. Obviously, he's Patrick Surtain. I mean, everybody knows him and what he's been proven and how he creates secondary players. Obviously, his son, I believe next year is going to be the number one cornerback coming out of the draft, according to Todd McShay. A couple other things I like. You know what I like about American Heritage? They don't put the names on the back of the jerseys. I like that they just put Patriots because they're all playing for one cause. I think that's definitely a Daddy Surtain kind of mentality. So I do like that with them. But overall, I mean, let's be honest. American Heritage is year in and year out. We're going to see them every year. 365 days from now, I guarantee you, we're going to be talking about them again.
No question about it. They'll be there. That's their 8th championship appearance that they've had, 5th state championship with the school. I mean, it's a tradition down there. It'll be a bad year if they don't make it to the state championship. So congratulations to them again on the 5A state championship, and Coach Surtain as well. The 6A championship, fellas, Heath, I'll start with you. Lake Minneola was our Cinderella team all through the year. Thought they might be able to have, do something up there in Tallahassee, but Miami Central is just way too much for them this year in 6A. It wasn't much at all from the kickoff.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest. I mean, we kind of know Miami Central, man. We know what you're going to get with them. But I mean, like you said, the Cinderella story. This is one of 4 teams that I covered locally that made it to the state championship. So Walter Banks is obviously a guy that comes on my show. I know him very well. One of the things that really helped Lake Minneola out this year was Robbie Sanders, the quarterback, transferring in, one of the top quarterbacks in the country for his graduation class. What a nice gift. Walter Banks, basically said, it's not every day you show up at school and a top quarterback enrolls in your program. So it was a really cool thing to see how Robbie Sanders was able to take that team that was already going to be a really proven, opponent in Central Florida, and he really helped them elevate to the next level. Running back Darius Walker, also another kid that's going to be obviously getting a lot of looks, a lot of offers on the Lake Minneola side. But guys, we've got to talk about Kewan Jenkins from Miami Central. This kid's only a sophomore. He's the smoothest quarterback I saw in the state championship. He reminds me a little bit of Timmy McClain at Seminole. We're going to get to that game in just a bit, but he makes plays with his feet. He's a lefty. He's one of the most explosive quarterbacks in South Florida. And guys, he's only a sophomore. I mean, if you're a coach at Miami Central, you know that you've got 2 state title runs left in him, just in that young man right there alone. You'll Keith Brown, a wide receiver for Miami Central, getting a lot of looks as well. But Coach, you Mr. Miami down there, okay, Coach Hayes. Let me ask you this, man. When is a Miami team ever going to get a kicker? Why can't you make an extra point down there in South Florida?
Well, I'm gonna tell you, man, it's a little. I have to say this though, there have been some good kickers that have come out of Miami. Not many, but I remember Booker T had a couple. Central had a couple, kicked a couple. So I can't remember these guys' names, but they've actually beat me with those kickers. But yeah, man, we're gonna get that right. But sometimes we kind of feel like, yeah, we need the kicker, but that's just for kickoffs because we put up so many points.
I'm just teasing with you, but I got you, Coach.
I know, I'm just teasing, man. But listen, but speaking of Miami, I mean, one thing I'm going to say this about Miami Central, if you don't mind, let me just talk a little. The reason Miami Central is so good, it starts from the top all the way to the bottom. When I say the top, meaning from administration and Greg Bethune, who I actually had a chance to coach with, who is now the principal there, he believes he's at every game, at every practice. In the summer, he's out there. When they're doing 707, he shows up. So that is why their success is so huge, man. And then the coach, Roland Smith, the head coach, has been there. I mean, he's done a great job, the offensive coordinator. And AJ, his philosophy is all gas, no brakes. As you see, he didn't stop throwing the ball. He just kept putting it on. And so that's why that program, not that team, but that program does a great job because it goes from the top in administration all the way down to the bottom in community.
Is it too early to make any predictions, guys? I know we kind of joked around that it's too early to make predictions for next year when we were doing pre-production. But man, can I go ahead and put Miami Central in again next year? Right behind Kewan Jenkins.
Oh, you can look. That's two of them that you're going to look forward to. Like you said, Heath. I mean, that's two more state championships. He's going to ride. Coach Smith's going to ride down there with him at QB. So hopefully he can keep him healthy and just keep rolling along down there with Central. The Rockets flying high right now. We're going to take another break. When we come back, 7A, one of the most exciting games of the state championship series up there in Tallahassee. We're going to talk about that when we come back. You're watching the Florida Gridiron Report here on the Varsity Sports Network.
The best part of my job is helping people realize not only their dreams, but also their potential. My name is Dan LaForest, and I am a wealth advisor with Security Financial Management. No matter how good you may be at a skill, it's always important to have a coach to help you refine those skills and game plan for the next challenge. Helping clients realize the process will give them the confidence of knowing that we have taken the appropriate steps to protect themselves and their families.
Hi, I'm Angel Carlson, and I'm with the A-Team of Charles Ruttenberg Realty. We're located in delightful downtown DeLand, and we service all of Central Florida. Our team is here to serve you for all of your real estate needs, whether you're buying, selling, or looking to invest. There is no time like the present to sell your existing home and buy your new one with the A-Team. Call me, Angel Carlson, so the A-Team can deliver your dream today.
Why did the golfer wear 2 pairs of pants? In case he got a hole in one.
Now that's what I call a rib tickler. And here's something else you'll get a kick out of. Come into Gators Dockside during Rib Fest and enjoy delicious fall-off-the-bone ribs, char grilled to order in one of 5 amazing flavors. For wings, seafood, sports, and ribs, you know where to go. It's Rib Fest at Gators Dockside. Meet me at the dock.
And welcome back, everybody, here to the Florida Gridiron Report. Bobby Lattimore, your host on Varsity Sports Network, joined by Heath Ziegler and Coach Kyle Hayes. Gentlemen, one of the best games this year in the 2020 FHSAA State Championships was this 7A game that we're about to take a look at between St. Thomas Aquinas and Edgewater, a rematch of last year's Instant Classic. Looking to do it this year to get a little revenge on last year's 2019 loss. So let's take a look. 7A championship up there from Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee.
It's time for the 7A championship back at Doak Campbell Stadium in Tallahassee, Florida. A rematch of the 2019 matchup between Edgewater and St. Thomas Aquinas. The Eagles from Edgewater came up short in 2019 by losing to the Raiders 28-23 that went down to the last play last year in Daytona Beach. This year, St. Thomas looks to become the all-time leader in state championships in the state. Right now, they're tied with Bowles at 11. Bowles losing their bid earlier in the week to get that 12 in their championship game. Cameron Duke, head coach for the Eagles, in his fourth season looking to amend last year's loss to the Raiders. Roger Harriet in his sixth year at St. Thomas, his seventh appearance in the state title game, 4 times with the Raiders. On St. Thomas's first drive of the game at their 45, quarterback Zion Turner drops back and hits his tight end Mason Taylor for a gain down to the Eagle 20. Later in the drive, second and goal from the 4, Turner hands it off to Anthony Hankerson off the right side and barrels his way in for the score. Raiders up 6, extra point. They lead 7-0. Next possession for the Eagles. Near midfield, quarterback Kanan Mobley hits wide receiver Tommy Hill across the middle for a gain down inside Raiders territory to their 20. Eagles have to settle for a field goal try. 31 yards for Jack Howells. He pulled it left and the Raiders still up 7-0. First play of the second half, St. Thomas punting. Tommy Hill misjudges the ball, fumbles it, and St. Thomas is there to recover it deep inside Eagles territory. But the refs say Hill got possession back before the Raiders could get in it, and it remains Edgewater football. Later in the drive, Eagles work their way inside the Raiders 10. Handoff to running back Cedric Baxter as he makes his great cut and heads in for a 9-yard TD run to give the Eagles their first points of the game with the extra point, all tied at 7. Eagles get the ball back just before the half, backed up at their own 10-yard line. Wildcat with wide receiver Christian Leary. He takes it up the left side for a good gain, but is stripped by the Raiders defense, and St. Thomas recovers at the 28, giving them great field position just before the half. Raiders from the 15, hand it off to Hankerson. He finds a hole, shoots through it, and buries his defender, going in to the end zone for a touchdown. A very determined run by junior running back. Raiders up 14-7 with the extra point. Edgewater with the ball, a little over 2 minutes left in the half. From their 15, Mobley sets up, passes it to Leary, and up the sideline to the 44. 2 plays later, Mobley trying to hit Leary again on a wide receiver screen, overthrows him and gets picked off by Jaden McBurrows, and he spins his way to the outside and up the sideline all the way to the end zone for a pick 6. Huge swing for the Raiders just before the half, now up 21-7 with the extra point. Eagles again backed up at their own 17 this time. Mobley goes back to pass, gets pressured and heaves up a prayer that gets intercepted by Tyson Russell. He finds some blocking and a stroll right to the end zone for back-to-back pick 6 for that Raider defense. Trouble, personal foul face mask against the Raiders before the interception. The cornerback pulled down the receiver before the catch was made, nullifying the return and giving the Eagles the ball with a minute to go before halftime. After the penalty, Mobley rolls right. A perfect pass to hit his receiver down for a gain to the Raiders 10. At a horse collar penalty, Eagles get it to the 5. 18 seconds left. Eagles at the 4.5. Hand off to Baxter around the right side, trying to get to the corner, and sneaks in, hitting the pylon for the touchdown for the Eagles. 2 huge penalties by the Raiders allowed the Eagles to come back down the field and score just before the half. Score St. Thomas 21, Edgewater 14 at the half. Let's head to the third quarter. Eagles with the ball at their 14. Mobley getting rushed from the pocket, looks to run, but pulls up and hits his receiver down the field for a gain up to the 40. Flag comes in, interference against St. Thomas, add on some more yards. Mobley again back to pass, rushed hard on the run, throws up a high lofting ball to hit Baxter, but overthrows him, and a great catch for the interception by Jared Cameron Jr. gets the ball back for the Raiders. Eagles able to hold St. Thomas to a field goal, which is good by Max Larson. Raiders up 24-14 towards the end of the third. Eagles with the reverse, hand off to the running back. He gets to the edge and up the sideline for a gain up to the 43. Next play, Mobley back to pass, gets hit, ball rolls out to the right and looks to go backwards from the spot where Mobley was hit. Fumble? No, incomplete. But from the replays, you can see his arm was going forward for the throw. The ball clearly goes backward for a backwards pass. St. Thomas recovered before going out of bounds, but refs don't have the luxury of replay in high school, so Eagles with another big break. Leary from the Wildcat hits the hole and bulls his way to the 3. First and goal for Edgewater. Mobley hands off to the running back, gets in for the score. Edgewater closes in on the Raiders, now down 24-21 after the extra point. Last play of the third quarter. Turner, play action, decides to keep it, gets to the outside and scampers down to the Eagle 4. But holding on the Raiders. We go to the fourth, 24-21 St. Thomas. Raiders get inside the Eagles 10, and Hankerson finish off the drive, going right up the middle untouched for the score. Raiders extend their lead to 31-21 with the extra point midway through the fourth. Ensuing kickoff, Tommy Hill takes it from the 3. Great cutback, gets him free up to the 40 to set up the Eagles offense with 9 minutes to go in the game. Mobley back to pass, pump fakes, rolls out of the pressure to his left, stops, throws it up, and hits Kyle Rivers at the St. Thomas 15 and down at the 12 to put the Eagles in scoring position with 8 minutes left. Wildcat again to Leary, takes off to the right, driving in, but gets stripped again for his second fumble of the game. Number 30, Darion Craig, rips the ball from Leary's arms and pulls it away for the fumble, recovery, and ends the Eagles' bid to score with 6 minutes left in the game. Eagles defense holds with 4.5 to go. Mobley hits Hill to the 33 and out of bounds to stop the clock. Next play, Baxter to the left, cuts it up and drives his way inside the Raiders 10 for another first down and out of bounds again to stop the clock. 3rd and 9 from the 14. Mobley passes it to Hill, incomplete, but flags come in. Interference against the Raiders in the end zone. Ball placed at the 2, under 3 to go. 3rd and goal from the 6. Wildcat again. Leary spins out of and rolls to his left, but forgot to get the ball first. Fumble. Raiders recover. Another squashed opportunity by the Eagles to put points on the board. Leary's 3rd fumble of the game, 2nd going in for the score. Raiders backed up deep after the fumble. Hand off to Hankerson. He sprints his way up to the 33 for some extra breathing room for the Raiders offense. A little over 3 minutes to go. This time Turner pulls it from Hankerson's gut and keeps it off to the right side as he scampers to the 45. Another Raiders first down, 2 minutes to go. 3rd down for the Raiders. Eagles need to stop. Pitch to Antonio Spencer. Sprints across midfield and down to the Eagles 25. First down with 1:45 left. 3 victory kneels for the Raiders, and they defend their state title, beating Edgewater for the 2nd year in a row, 31-21, to become the all-time championship leader with 12 state titles in the state of Florida for the Raiders. Anthony Hankerson leads all rushers, 26 for 181 and 3 touchdowns. Tommy Hill rushed 8 times for 111 yards for the Eagles.
Gentlemen, so many opportunities for the Edgewater Eagles right there to get things going and bring this game home for them. Just unfortunately with the turnovers all through from the first quarter all the way through the fourth, I think there were 6 turnovers at Edgewater in this football game that really made a difference. Heath, I'll start with you. You covered Edgewater all year long here in Orlando. Tell us your feelings on what happened.
Well, before I jump into Edgewater, a little bit about St. Thomas. Coach Harriet there, I believe he was actually on the 97 St. Thomas Aquinas State Championship team as a player. So that's obviously, it's great to see when coaches come back to their alma mater and coach. So I love to see that kind of thing. That's something that means a lot to me because it really keeps that community feel to the game of football. I'll tell you what, the pick 6 before half was one. Even though there was actually 2 pick 6s, one of them stood. The other one was called back, but that was very costly. And not to pick on Mobley, Kanan, he just can't throw it up like that. Just can't heave it up like that. But Hankerson, the running back for St. Thomas, I mean, the guy's a beast. I mean, like he's a man amongst boys out there. You can tell he's a premier running back in the country. I think that's kind of my thoughts on St. Thomas's side. They got Edgewater last year. You should know. I mean, heck, the winning play last year in this game that was played in Daytona was broken up by your Bulldog Marcus Roseme, who made a great play to help to prevent Tommy Hill from catching the game-winning touchdown. So these 2 went down to the wire last year. Obviously, this year I think Edgewater had every right and every chance to win this game. Unfortunately, Edgewater, a lot of mistakes. Our producer, we talked off screen earlier with Dan LaForest. He said, some of the disciplines on offense didn't seem there. You saw a little confusion in the backfield, which caused a fumble for Edgewater. So there was some discipline issues, I believe, up front. But one thing I want to know from Edgewater is, why I wanted to see more Jeremiah Connolly. I mean, he clearly, whenever he touched the ball, he's very effective. They had him open out of the backfield so many times where Mobley could have just done a quick check down. That young man is an unbelievably tough to tackle. And I mean, a little swing pass, and you know how it is in Florida, man. Those little swing passes, they go for 6 a lot. And I mean, it's a very effective pass, especially when you have guys like Tommy Hill running streaks. That defense knows they have to respect Hill. I thought they should have used the young man Connolly a little bit more. Another player to watch for Edgewater, Cedric Baxter. He's only a sophomore. He's already getting a lot of attention. He actually played last year as a freshman in the state championship game. At the 7A level, you don't see many freshmen getting carries unless you're someone special. So look out for Cedric Baxter. I do think there's a cool story, though, and I'll kind of wrap up with this, and I'll let Coach Hayes talk a little bit about his thoughts. But something I want to share with the listeners and the viewers is Kanan Mobley is a two-sport athlete. He plays baseball. He plays football. He's the quarterback for Edgewater. He has a unique scholarship opportunity with Charleston Southern where he can go and play baseball and football. And not many coaches are willing to share their player, but that was kind of a unique thing that the coaches at Charleston Southern said, look, he's that valuable. Let's give him a two-sport offer, which you don't see a lot of those anymore. So I thought that was cool. But this is what I really love, and I don't see this very often. He actually decided to decline that offer, and he wants to pursue a degree in architecture. So he's going to be going down to FIU. And I like to see a young man that's not afraid to really do what he wants to do with his life and not just take a scholarship because, that's what he thinks he's supposed to do. So my hat's off to, Kanan Mobley. Dan LaForest and I also called a couple of the Edgewater games this year. We got to know his mother. So I just think I'm not surprised after meeting his mother that Kanan Mobley was that mature to make a decision to turn down an opportunity to play on Saturdays and pursue his dream in architecture. So that's just a fun little story that I wanted to share with you guys. Coach Hayes, I mean, you know a lot about both of these teams. Obviously, St. Thomas is down in your wheelhouse as well. What were your thoughts?
To start off with St. Thomas, like I said, they are a powerhouse here as well. And like you said, Coach Harriet was on that team. I think he won a state championship at University School, and then he comes over and takes over at St. Thomas. Now, the thing about St. Thomas, which is huge, they have a bunch of Division I talent. They had Dallas Turner, who transferred over from American Heritage, going to Alabama. Quite a few players. I mean, they have a bunch of players. So hats off to those guys for what they've done. But to Edgewater is special. I'm going to tell you why this game was special. They playing at Doak Campbell Stadium. And actually, I won a state championship. It was Miami New Orleans versus Edgewater. In that very same stadium was a barn burner in 2002, And so it came down pretty much to the last 37 seconds, I believe, with NFL great Dwayne Bowe and Antoine Barnes and so forth. And it was great, man. I mean, Edgewater was loaded. This was back with the Gerke, Bill Gerke and that family, which was huge, man. So, Orlando Edgewater is always there. I know they went 3 years in a row. They went the first year against Miami New Orleans. They went the second year, I want to say it was Miami Killian. And then they went the third year against Miami Carroll City. Unfortunately, they didn't pull any of those off. And then they go 2 years back-to-back here against St. Thomas and then get a chance to pull it off. So, unfortunately, they didn't win it, but just to think about, you've been there 5 times, man. So they're doing something right. They got to just tweak it. And I think you made a very good point, Heath, so far as a little bit of discipline when it comes to making sure you take care of the football. And so far as this game with this, Chris Leary has to take care of the football. And so far as Mobley, the quarterback, this is the problem. He's still dealing with young guys. They feel like they have to win the game. So he's trying to just throw it up to make a play. And unfortunately, when you get a state championship, everybody's good out there. That's why they're there. And so they made him pay for it. And those are things he'll learn. But the one I'm most excited about is Cedric Baxter, the running back. I mean, think about it. He's a class of 2023 kid. He's 6'1", 215 pounds already.
He's a beast.
That's huge. That's huge, man. So I can't wait to see, what happens with him in the future. And last, I'll finish off with this. A big shout out to Coach Cameron Duke for turning that program around. If I'm not mistaken, he took over for the Florida Gator legend, and Chris Leak took that program over, turned it around. And, man, think about it. He's been there 4 years and been to the state championship twice. So that's a huge accomplishment just so far as him, his staff, and the school as well. So that's how I take it.
One quick thing before we go, we've got to mention how lucky is Herm Edwards out at Arizona State in getting Tommy Hill, another name we failed to mention from Edgewater Eagles and all of the stud players that they have. So we wish Tommy Hill the best of luck going out to Arizona State. Herm, hey man, you got yourself one right there. He's a baller.
No question about it. D1 prospects all over the field for 7A this game. It was a good game. It was a fun game to watch. Unfortunately, a lot of miscues on one side of the ball that really made the difference in this game. But you know what? They'll be back. They've got a good team. Yes, as you mentioned, Coach Hayes, Cameron Duke's a good football coach. He'll get that program and get it right back up. They'll reload next year. They won't have to rebuild. So it'll be fun to watch. We're going to take a break. When we come back, the top of them all, the 8A championship, right after this here on the Florida Gridiron Report. Don't go anywhere. You're watching it on Varsity Sports Network.
The best part of my job is helping people realize not only their dreams, but also their potential. My name is Dan LaForest, and I am a wealth advisor with Security Financial Management. No matter how good you may be at a skill, it's always important to have a coach to help you refine those skills and game plan for the next challenge. Helping clients realize the process will give them the confidence of knowing that we have taken the appropriate steps to protect themselves and their families.
Hi, I'm Angel Crowson, and I'm with the A-Team of Charles Ruttenberg Realty. We're located in delightful downtown DeLand, and we service all of Central Florida. Our team is here to serve you for all of your real estate needs, whether you're buying, selling, or looking to invest. There is no time like the present to sell your existing home and buy your new one with the A-Team. Call me, Angel Crowson, so the A-Team can deliver your dream today.
Why did the golfer wear 2 pairs of pants? In case he got a hole in one.
Now that's what I call a rib tickler. And here's something else you'll get a kick out of. Come into Gators Dockside during Rib Fest and enjoy delicious fall-off-the-bone ribs, char grilled to order in one of 5 amazing flavors. For wings, seafood, sports, and ribs, you know where to go. It's Rib Fest at Gators Dockside. Meet me at the dock.
Welcome back, everybody, here to the Florida Gridiron Report. I'm your host, Bobby Lattimore, here on the Varsity Sports Network, joined by Heath Ziegler from the Orlando High School Football Scoreboard Show, also in Jacksonville, also from Kyle Hayes, Coach Kyle Hayes from CoachHayesFootball.com. Coaches, Heath, good to see you guys here tonight. We've had a great time so far in our first show talking about recapping the 2020 FHSAA High School Football Championships that were held up at Doak Campbell Stadium up there at Florida State in Tallahassee. It turned out to be a pretty good atmosphere. It turned out to be very good. A lot of us didn't like it when it was announced that everybody would have to go to Tallahassee. But you know what? It worked out. Heath, what do you think about everybody going up to Doak Campbell up there this year?
I mean, I really wanted the game here in Central Florida. Pardon me for being a little selfish, but I mean, I thought we had either between UCF and the Citrus Bowl, and the fact that a lot of the Miami teams had opted out this year. I thought Orlando was a good place for it, but in the end, I mean, Doak Campbell's a good place for it because I think you can spread people out easy in that stadium. It's big enough to where and during these times and this COVID stuff, we have to go to socially distance. So I think there was some of that going on as well. But yeah, I think the venue ended up being appropriate and being something that they did well with. I just, I like it in Central Florida because why? It's called Central Florida. Everybody can get here within 3 hours.
Yeah.
Coach, what did you think about it?
I mean, the same thing. I think it should always be in Central Florida just because it's easy for all parties to get to from the south to the north. And somewhere in between, like I said, UCF, the Citrus Bowl, as I've always call it. I know it's Camping Bowl now. But, just like in Miami, it's always going to be Joe Robbie Stadium. I don't know. They have 35 different names. It's always going to be Joe Robbie to me. But I actually got a T-shirt that says that. But anyhow,
you keep calling it Joe Robbie, man. You're going to really date yourself with these young viewers now. Be careful.
I go all the way back, guys. Look here. It's before Joe Robbie. I go back to the Orange Bowl. That's how far I go back with that.
Well, look, I'm going to tell you what's funny.
You had that ready, man. You had that ready.
No, I really didn't. I had a T-shirt. I still call it Joe Robbie, man. So, yeah, man, actually, but to go back to your point, Bobby, is I really think it should always be here in the Central Florida location just because it's easier for all parties to get to and it doesn't put a financial strain, even just on families. You know what I mean? Not even necessarily schools, but at least on families having to travel as far as well.
Well, all other states have a traditional location. I mean, you go up north just in the town above us, Georgia, every year in the Georgia Dome. This year was in the Mercedes Dome up there in Atlanta as well. I'd like to see it more traditionally done to where the kids know where they're going, families know where they're going, just to have it just be more of a traditional place to go. Bouncing around all this time throughout the state, throughout these years, it kind of it's nice for you to, wonder where you're going to go and, different atmospheres and stuff like that. But to house it in one place would be a tradition I think Florida needs to start and stick with throughout the years to come because once it becomes a tradition like that, it's that's where the road is. That's where the road goes. So, I mean, that'll be a lot of fun. So on to 8A, guys. We've got a great game. Heath, Coach, you mentioned, going all the way to Tallahassee, but guess what? The 8A championship was between two Central Florida teams right here, Osceola and Sanford Seminole. Let's take a look at the highlights. This was a great game.
Let's head to the 8A state championship between the Osceola Cowboys and the Sanford Seminoles. The Seminoles enjoying being in Tallahassee, playing on the field they're named after, or is it the other way around? Chad Masco II and Gerandy Swint lead the Cowboys with head coach Doug Nichols in his 11th season at Osceola, their third state title game appearance against Timmy McLean and Jimmy Horn, both USF signees, with first-year head coach Eric Lodge and their undefeated season on the line. It doesn't take long for the Seminoles to get going. Opening kickoff, Keelan Holloway takes the kick and runs it back to the Cowboy 40-yard line to start the Seminole offense in Osceola territory. 4th and 8 on the opening drive. Seminoles going for it. McLean back to pass, has time, hits Horn, crossing the middle, picks up the first, a whole lot more down to the Cowboy 1. Replay shows he hit the pylon as his right foot hit out of bounds. Ref marks him down at the 1. Next play, the Cowboy defense realizes the game has started and stuffs running back Dante Wack for a 2-yard loss. 2nd and goal, McLean steps back, gets pressured, flushed from the pocket, scrambles around looking for somebody, but is sacked back at the 8 by Alvin Lee II. 2 plays, -7 yards. 3rd and goal. McLean rolls to his left, has time, but runs out of it, steps back some more, throws to the end zone, incomplete, 4th down. Sergio Diaz on for the field goal attempt, 26 yards, it's up and it's good. Seminoles on the board first, 3-0, but a huge win for the Cowboy defense to keep the Seminoles out of the end zone to start the game. Cowboys turn, 3rd and 10 from their 33. Masco to second, back to pass, gets pressured up the middle, fumbles, recovered by number 33, Lucas Fonseca for the Seminoles. Seminoles back on offense, deep in Cowboy territory. First play for the Seminoles after the fumble, McLean calls his own number, runs up the middle, but is stripped by Alvin Lee, who starts to celebrate but realizes he can run and is taken down near midfield. As you can see on the replay, Lee strips McLean before he goes down, holds up the ball to say, hey, look what I got. Oh, man, I can run now, and as he gets it right back for the Cowboys. Osceola with the ball, 3rd and 6. Masco back to pass. Nobody open, throws it deep. Cameraman didn't know the game started either, but the ball caught on a great catch by Christian Combs down to the 12-yard line. Better looking catch from this angle. Combs out jumps a defender to make a great grab, setting the Cowboys up inside the 15 for a 1st down. Here we go. Masco, play action. Looks short, but is undercut by number 21, Johnny Harris for the Seminoles. He takes it down the sideline, cuts it back, gets some help, and he's escorted to the end zone for a pick 6 to extend the Seminoles' lead. Seminoles missed the extra point, up 9-0 midway through the first. On the ensuing kickoff, freshman number 14, Jeremiah Wilson, takes it from the 6, heads up the field, kicks out to the right, and up the sideline all the way to midfield before being spun out of bounds for the Cowboys. Osceola's drive stalls, and number 9, Spencer Richard, kicks a 27-yard field goal to get the Cowboys on the board. It's 9-3 Seminoles. Seminoles back deep at their 12. McLean tosses it to number 21, Javari Frederick, out of the backfield. He splits the defenders, and he could go all the way. Chris Berman says it much better, but he's caught and fumbles. Scramble for the ball. Frederick saves himself by recovering it back, especially after the huge gain down inside the 15 of the Cowboys. Next play, McLean says it's my turn to show something. Heads left, gets stopped, heads right, breaks a tackle. None can stop me. Xbox 2, as we called him during the regular season, shows why after that incredible run for the score. Seminoles now up 15-3. 2-point conversion good. Seminoles up 17-3. Osceola with the ball. They give it to their PlayStation 5. Gerandi Swent as he breaks through the middle, spinning out of a tackle and gets tripped up at the Seminole 45. Masco back to pass. Finds Isaiah Jean-Baptiste over the middle to get down to the Seminole 30. Next play, Masco finds a wide open Jean-Baptiste in for the 28-yard touchdown grab to bring the Cowboys closer. It's 17-9. Extra point, it's good. It's 17-10. Seminoles back down inside Osceola territory. McLean steps up in the pocket. Finds Horn streaking in at the 1. Touchdown Seminoles. Extra point good. 24-10 at the half. Third quarter, McLean scrambles. Gets hit in the backfield. Fumbles. Recovered by the Cowboys number 44. Come on, Manning. Osceola takes over deep in Seminole territory. Next play after the turnover. Handoff to Jamison James. Puts his head down, gets flipped over, loses the ball before he hits the ground. Number 8, Damari Henderson, picks it up and heads up the field to the 35 for the Seminole turnover. Handoff to Holloway. He cuts upfield, breaks a tackle, then pirouettes over another defender to pick up 10 more yards. But all that for nothing. Holding on to the Seminoles brings it back. 2nd and 12, Seminoles hand it off to Wack. He breaks free off the right side. He could go. Does he have enough? He does. 65 yards for the score. Seminoles now up 31-10 after the extra point is good. Masco back to pass. Pressure. Flag comes in. Possible holding. Throws it over the middle. Intercepted. Another turnover by the Seminole defense. Fourth quarter, Seminoles with the ball in midfield. McLean rushed hard from the left side, gets hit, fumbles the ball, recovered by the Seminoles, saving another turnover for McLean. His third fumble of the game. They keep this one. Seminoles punting. The freshman Wilson again takes the punt up the field, gets wrapped up, breaks out of it, turns up for another 20 yards to the Seminole 45. Seminoles get the ball back. Handoff this time to number 30, Rory Thomas. He breaks free. He could go all the way. Getting run down from behind and pulled down at the 1. So close. A little frustration for the Cowboys. Offside penalty against the defense. However, something was said by the Cowboy defender. Another flag for unsportsmanlike behavior. Puts the ball closer for the Noles. 3 plays later, the brother of Timmy McClain, number 10, Andrew McClain, takes a direct snap and reaches forward for the touchdown. Gotta love the celebration. He gets chest bumped into the ground by his coach. Nothing hurt. Seminoles up 37-10 pending the extra point. 38-10 after the extra point was good. Osceola not giving up. Masco back to pass. Lets it fly. Hits Wilson down the sideline. Caught at the 10. First down Cowboys after the 48-yard reception. Masco passing to Swint. Short of the goal line. So close at that one. Why did we show you that play? Because on the next play, Masco can't handle the snap. And the Seminoles recover the fumble for a touchback. Number 58, Devil Moore Jr. recovers a fumble. Another opportunity foiled by the Seminole defense in this game. You can see from the replay, Masco mishandled the snap, and Moore pulls it out of the pile and recovers the fumble in the end zone for the Seminoles. Andrew McClain takes the final snap and runs out the clock as the Seminoles go undefeated in the 2020 season with the 8A state championships under your first-year head coach, Eric Lodge, the second in school history. Timmy McClain goes 9 for 15 for 163 yards and 1 touchdown through the air. Also rushed for 27 yards on 11 carries with a touchdown. Chad Masco, the second, threw 16 for 22 for 214 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 unfortunate interceptions deep in Seminole territory.
Gentlemen, if it wasn't for the early turnovers there by Osceola, this game could have been a lot closer. Osceola played a very good game. The Cowboys will definitely be back in that championship round next year because they're very young. But I'm going to tell you what, Timmy McClain, Jimmy Horn this year, even Holloway for Seminoles. You can just go down to Frederick, Whack. Everybody on that offensive in that backfield right there really made the difference for the Seminoles this year. Congratulations to Coach Lodge in his first year winning the state championship. We got an interview with him coming up here pretty soon. But you covered them as well this year here in the Central Florida area. Me and our co-producer Dan LaForest covered their last 2 playoff games that they played, one against Parchment Trail and the other one against Apopka to get into the state championship. Tim McClain, he had a lot of accolades this year, and he lived up to every single bit of them.
Okay, so obviously Osceola coming into this game, they have one of the best front 4 on defense, I think, in all Central Florida. I talked with Dan LaForest. I've talked with you about this. Between Jones High School in Orlando and Osceola, those were 2 of the best front 4s. I want to congratulate the offensive line for Seminole for limiting on how many times Timmy McClain was able to be touched. And Timmy McClain's going to make plays with his feet no matter what. I mean, he's just that special. Obviously, he has some great targets, too, like Jimmy Horn, and some receivers to throw to. But I just really want the offensive line to get some credit and respect for being able to stop Osceola's front 4 on defense, because those kids are absolutely beasts and absolutely special. Another fun little nugget about this game, I had the opportunity to go down and do a live show for the Osceola Edgewater game down in Kissimmee at a little restaurant there, and we had some of the Osceola Cowboys players come in. So I got to meet Chad Masco and his father. Didn't know this. The last time Osceola won a state championship, guess who was playing quarterback for him?
Chad Masco's dad.
Exactly. So another nice little history nugget that I do find very interesting about community and about families staying together at a local school like Osceola Cowboys. And I did think that was just something I wanted to share with you guys. It was really cool. So yeah, Chad Masco, I believe he's actually Chad Masco Jr. His dad was the quarterback there as well. Now, Eric Lodge, coach at Seminole. Now, I mean, he goes undefeated. He obviously walked into a situation where he had a lot of talent. I don't know of any head coach that would take over a program that had really that much. I mean, it was ready to go. But I do think that's almost makes it more difficult, in my opinion. So that's why Coach Lodge is also won my Coach of the Year award, because it's one thing to say, well, hey, man, you had the keys to the car. The thing was ready to roll. Well, you know what? I think there was a lot of pressure on Coach Lodge to do something with Timmy McClain. I think that, Timmy McClain's been starting there since he was a freshman. And I think there was a lot of pressure for those kids that grew up together. And this graduating class, it's not easy to take over a turnkey program and actually be able to go undefeated and check off all of the boxes week in and week out, and don't ever have a moment of weakness. Don't ever have a team that sneaks up on you. He was always prepared. He always took care of business as a coach and led those young men. And you saw how much those young men loved him. You saw him do the chest bump where he knocked his own player down. I mean, that kid loves those guys. Really found a lot of love in just a matter of months. And these are COVID months. These aren't normal months. So I think it's really special what Eric Lodge did. And I'll leave you with this, Coach Hayes. I think what he was able to accomplish at Seminole was absolutely fantastic. And that's why he was my Coach of the Year this year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I have to say this about Coach Lodge, and you just said a great point. A lot of people think when you walk into a situation like that, it's easy sledding. Well, sometimes it's also easy to mess it up, because you may want to come in with your philosophy, which not saying he didn't, but I'm just saying sometimes you can come in and make so many changes that you actually mess it up. You know what I mean? Instead of that little smirk on the Mona Lisa, you put a smile and it's no longer valuable. So I'm just simply saying great job by Coach Lodge and what he did and what he accomplished in the COVID months, like you expressed. I thought that was huge because, I mean, that was tough. You didn't know what you were going to do. Didn't know if we were going to play, kept those guys together, and he kept them home. A lot of guys, when there are coaching changes, a lot of people jump ship. So it's a great job by him. And then for Osceola, I mean, they always have a very, very, very good program, and my only thing is this game came down to turnovers and big plays. Really. I mean, think about it. You're on the 1 yard line or the inch line and you turn it over for a touchback. Those type of things. That's what really hurt those guys in this game. And it really could have been a much better game without the turnovers.
No question about it. You mentioned Coach Lodge. You mentioned not messing up the program. He was part of the staff with Coach Stark before Coach Stark left last year. So he was a benefit to that program already there. He knew what was going on. So we had an interview with Coach Lodge. Let's take a listen to him and see what he said about the state championship. 12-0, Coach. You got to be excited about last year.
Yeah, any time, you can finish with a record like that. It's, it feels good. I'm not very reflective on, oh man, this is, we did that, we did this. I'm kind of geared towards the next thing. And, so like right now we're focused on next year and working and, getting there even through the season. There's not much of like sitting back and like, man, we're so close. We're this, we're that, it's really, okay, what's next? What's in front of us? Not too much reflection here on this end.
First year head coach. You've been in the program before, which was a great choice for you. Obviously, was like I reiterate Coach LaForest's deal tour. You were the only choice to come into the program to be the head coach. What was the difference with you being the head coach and what was past?
I've always kind of said that being a head coach is not something that I really was driven to do, wanted to do. I enjoyed being a defensive coordinator and just coming out and working with kids and doing things the right way, like how we had done in the past. Don allowed me to kind of, do some things that I wanted to do, and we worked together closely. So I always felt like, hey, I don't need to go out and really just chase my own thing, because I felt like we always did it together. So then with him leaving and me stepping into that role, there's not a whole lot that really changed. The way we do things and the way we built it was kind of, that's the way I would have done it anyway. So, here we are, we're still kind of doing the things the way we do it. I just have a lot more emails to answer and, other logistical issues on my plate, but, those are just kind of the things that we had to do. And, I chose those things because I felt like this was my program anyways, and I wanted to see it continue on the trajectory that it was on.
Even with COVID, we saw a large number of coaching changes across the area. it amazes me how much your coaches love being at Seminole. There's a number of them that are on the candidate list every year, but it seems like they really want to be part of this program. Tell me about your assistant coaches and really the cohesiveness you guys have really gelled over the years.
You know, we all get along with each other. We're friends first. And I think that kind of makes us work a little bit harder for each other. And, you know, when we do things and we game plan, and, you know, I do my best to create an atmosphere of we're all doing it together, which I think kind of gives them some more investment in, you know, what's happening. And, you know, that was my experience as an assistant coach. And, you know, I told Don, I said, look, you know, if you're here for 30 years, man, I'm going to be your defensive coordinator for 30 years. And, you know, I really believe that and meant that when I said that. And, you know, I want to create that same experience for my assistant coaches, you know, so that there's some emotional investment in the program and we're all doing it together. You know, this is their program too, just as much as it is mine.
All right. Your first year out, you won the state championship. You've got the Florida Coach of the Year award. What's next?
Plan is to do it again.
And there's your 8A state champion, Coach Eric Lodge. His first year, just very excited, very humble, though. You can tell in the interview. I mean, he was all about the kids. He was all about his staff. He was all about everybody else. He didn't want to put anything on himself. We asked him, you know, what was the difference, you know, from him to where Coach Stark was last year, not getting to the championships. And he said it's all about the team. So, you know, good, humble guy. He's also the Florida Dairy High School Football Coach of the Year as well for the state of Florida. Well-deserving. Keith, he was your Coach of the Year here in Central Florida for your program as well. So, I mean, just a lot of great accolades for that young man. He's going to have a big future there if he stays at Sanford Seminole. I mean, it's going to be a good run for them. Guys, what do you think? We had a good time. This is our first show here in the Florida Gridiron Report here for the Florida on Varsity Sports Network here this year. I mean, that was a lot of fun. Just a parting word. What did you guys think overall about the state championships this year? Even though we didn't have all the Miami teams, we did have good South Florida representation, and it showed because a lot of the, you know, when the Miami teams played, they won. So give me your thoughts, Coach Hayes. I'll start with you first. Tell me how you felt about the championships year and basically the season and all, because it was a difficult year for us, you know, even from the beginning.
All right. So first of all, I'll start off by saying, you know, a big shout out to the FHSAA for getting this thing going. I know there's a lot of uncertainty coming into this season, but they got it going. You know, again, I know South Florida, Miami teams some of them decided to opt out, which was fine. That was their right. But again, to put on a playoff series as well as a state championship, getting all that done in uncertain times. So a big hat off to those guys in Gainesville for getting it done. So far as the season, again, I know that some people played, some people didn't play, or some games were limited, but they got a chance and the young men got a chance to play. That was the biggest thing, that people didn't really lose a lot of opportunities. And then lastly, so far as the state series and the state championship, it was great to see a good representation of Central Florida again. And I know we definitely want to see those guys back into it consistently and over because it only makes the state championship series better. So that's my take on the season in a whole.
Heath, I'll turn it over to you to close us out. Just talk about the season. You were one of the big vital parts to get things going here in Central Florida. Did a great job with the scoreboard show this year. And, you know, the state championships, they were fun.
Yeah, I mean, being a part of all of the Zoom calls and stuff with the FHSAA from day one, and obviously learning really the process that we had to go through to get this season off the ground was incredible. And like Coach Hayes said, man, it took a lot, and there was a lot of confusion. I can tell you, when you get 30 people in a Zoom call, all with all their own ideas on how the state should work, it gets a little hectic, and it gets a little messy. But in the end, we found a way for it to work. And I remember, I'll be the first person to tell you, the way the state series, the way the state, basically when they did away with districts, you just had to play teams and everybody was going to make the playoffs. It sounded like the craziest, dumbest thing I've ever heard. And I remember at the very beginning, Palmetto and Dr. Phillips, the best two teams in that region, end up having to face each other in the first round. And I'm up in arms saying this isn't right, isn't fair. But I'll tell you what, man, I've actually learned a lot. In the end, man, every team that wanted to play in the state series got a chance. Every team had to play every team. If you wanted to win, you had to go through – DP would have had to go through Palmetto anyway. And I'm just using that as one scenario or one story. But, I mean, there were teams that got buys that had one win. I mean, there were crazy things this year. But I think in the end, I mean, look at the teams we got in the state championship, man. Like there was no one-win teams or fluke teams that made it there. In the end, we got the right people, the right schools, the right communities into those state championship games. So overall, even though I was up in arms, and I will admit, I mean, I made a mistake. I think we actually had a pretty cool year, and we found a way. Florida is a football state. This is one of the largest states, and this is why we do this show. And I think Florida pulled it off, man.
Awesome take, Coach. Awesome. Good job tonight. Gentlemen, I had fun. You ready to do it again?
Let's go.
Next week, this is going to be a weekly show here on Varsity Sports Network. Just because football's over doesn't mean we have to stop talking about it. And that's what we're going to do here on the Florida Gridiron Report. Each week, we'll have correspondents from around the state giving us breaking news from all the high schools that are around their area to talk about high school football here in the state. As he said, this is Florida, and it is the best state in the country for high school football. So a lot happening all year long. That's why we'll be playing all year long. So thanks for tuning in. This is episode number 1 of the Florida Gridiron Report. For Heath Ziegler, for Coach Kyle Hayes, for Dan LaForest, who's in the background as our producer, I'm Bobby Latmore saying so long, and we'll see you next week here on the Varsity Sports Network.